I think we are live. Let me just quickly check.
Mhm.
Are we not live? Are we live?
We are
We are live.
live.
We are live.
We
We
are
are
live.
live.
We are live. We are live.
All
Are,
right.
are.
Where is this? Oh my God. 1 second. Where is this audio or echo coming from? Can't be a stream if I am not doing a tech screw up. No,
It
it
seems fine
can't be.
now.
Yeah. I fixed it now. It can't be a YouTube stream if there is no tech screw up.
Of
Okay. Hello.
course
Hi.
not.
To whoever is watching, if you guys can hear us, if you guys can see us, and if we are live, most importantly, can you guys let us know in the chat?
I
Mm,
can I can see us. I can
yes,
hear
okay. There is
us.
a hi, hello from
I'm looking
everybody.
at
There is a
yes.
hi, hello. We are live.
Yes.
Fantastic. Doing last minute tech support.
Live and
And
alive
all right,
on
good.
the tube of
Welcome,
you.
welcome, boys and girls, to another fantastic. I think this is our 51st.
Not bad. We managed
Not
this
bad.
year to do our 50th and our 51st
We
episode.
did.
All in all, glorious victory
Yeah.
for all mankind.
Yeah, because
Yes.
I was just saying like what do you call it? This released the 200 episodes and I'm like 200
Yeah,
तो अभी थोड़ा time
200. Damn,
लगेगा.
yeah, it's gonna take a while.
थोड़ा
It's
थोड़ा
gonna take
time
a while.
लगने वाला है.
Yeah.
थोड़ा
Can't
time
wait
लगने
for it.
वाला है.
200th episode special. The
Yeah,
old age
but
home.
at least we are here for the 51st and we are going
We're
to wrap
here.
up the year. So
We're here.
hello.
We're here for the
And
year. Hello, chat. Hello, everybody. Hello, Aditya. Hello, Rohit. Hello,
yeah,
Yaren.
what's
Hello,
up
Newt. What is
to
up,
our
friends?
regulars, Tara, Newt, all the
Um,
regulars who are there,
I
just
hope you
just
have
second.
had a good year in pop culture. I hope your year in pop culture has been more good than it has been bad. I hope that you have not been subjected yourself to hot garbage for no reason at all, and only watch things that delighted you. What am I talking about? What?
You're talking about animal, right? Sorry.
No,
So
no.
we
I'm not. I'm just talking about pop culture in general. So yeah, that's actually since we're kicking off and since you brought up animal, I would first like to start this stream off only by I made some notes. So before we get started into recapping the year, there's just certain stuff that I want to get out of the way. I have not seen Animal. I have not seen Donkey. I have not seen Salar. In the gaming front, I have not played Alan Wake 2. In terms of shows, I have not watched Kala Pani yet. I have also not
okay.
watched the Attack on Titan finale yet. So
Neither have
please,
I.
so please, when discussing all things about the year, please keep in mind that I am coming from these gaps, like in terms
Correct.
of big pop culture things that happened. And
Okay.
yeah, and other than that, I have some trends and stuff that I noticed. But whatever you wish to do, sir, we shall do.
So obviously we will definitely not talk about animal because it has been spoken about. We will not talk about a whole bunch of things. थोड़ा एक आजकल जो since we are recapping the year, we might as well talk about the last month, that is December, what we are watching and why it's so kick-ass. And I
Okay.
think you will agree with me when I say that Scavenger's Reign is a I can't describe how beautiful
Scavenger's
that
Reign.
show
That is one of
is.
my proudest like recommendations to everybody this year. It's one of those rare recommendations where sometimes you feel like you're just getting in people's face with
Yeah.
recommendations for no reason.
Yeah.
This is one of the rare ones where after
But
recommending
but
it,
we can't
I've
take
had
credit for it. This was recommended to us by that guy. Remember in our live show, the one dude was like, Scavenger's Reign is there on HBO Max.
yeah, it is. No, but I've seen it before that, no?
Acha, you had seen it.
I've
I
seen, yeah,
had
yeah, yeah,
no
yeah.
idea.
Dude, it's incredible, Scavenger's Reign. It is, and it's the only show where I've had like two people come back to me IRL and be like,
Oh
dude,
yeah.
Scavenger's Reign. Like,
Yeah.
yes,
So
Scavenger's Reign. And
it's
yeah,
it's
very
perplexingly beautiful. The fact that they have crafted. So for all the people who don't know, Scavengers Reign, very simple show. It's on Geo Cinema because it's a Max HBO Max show. It's an animated show. It's about a bunch of astronauts who are stranded on an alien planet and how they are trying to survive. Now, the beauty
yeah.
about this is that the way the alien planet has been created, including the alien life, like every frame, there is a brand new species, which is not a very it feels
Yeah.
familiar, but it's
It's
not
sort of
familiar.
like what if Studio Ghibli did a
Yeah.
space animated version of David Attenborough's Planet Earth. It's
Yeah.
the only explanation I have for that show. Because they show you the astronauts and then they just cut to these like beautiful sequences of just the actual flora and fauna of that planet. And they're done in like this Planet Earth way where you see like the actual entire rhythm and life cycle, and it's haunting and it's beautiful. And It's also
It's
one of those shows that is
gorgeous.
animated shows that's an amazing midnight watch. Like, if you know what I mean, it's a great
Yeah,
midnight watch.
you
Like,
mean like post the scavenging? Is that what
post
you're
the
talking about?
scavenging. Yes,
Post the
post the
scavenging.
scavenging.
Sure. Fair,
Post
fair, fair, fair.
scavenging.
Is
Post
also one of those
scavenging.
shows which you sort of like. I saw it. I see it on the what do you call it? I set up the screen and I watch it, and I'm just like every point I'm pausing and I'm like, ooh, wallpaper,
Yeah,
ooh,
yeah, full on, full on,
wallpaper.
full on.
This
It's
is
almost
beautiful
one of those where
wallpaper.
it's like if this was a PlayStation game, you'd be spamming the photo button like non-stop. Hello, Ariana.
All right, sweet. We've got a great question
Yes.
from Karun saying, hi, Ron and Sahil. How do you guys choose time to read books among a sea of films and shows? How to read more in 2024? So please give suggestions.
You just have to mark out the time and say this is book time in the same way that something is show time and be like nothing else is going to take its place. For
Ah,
me, I find it to be a good pre-sleep ritual because even if it's just 10 pages at a time, if I'm like no screen and just a book, then
yeah.
that's time that I get through it. Flights are a great place for books. If I just travel, whether it's you're in a cab or in a flight or whatever, great place, like especially with the Kindle. Very,
Also
very good place.
mandatory wake up. If the thing is, I decided that every time I wake up, I'm going to read. That's my first half an hour. If you avoid the screen and the first
Yeah,
half an hour goes
exactly.
into reading,
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
great.
it's a perfect. Although I'm very sad to admit that for the past month I have been very off that plan because I'm reading a book. You need a book that's like, yaar, padna hi hai, like you're like, I
I will
want
100%
to.
always recommend that book in this current scenario. Like off the top of my head, Project Hail Mary. Like if you need a book that will just break your reading slump, Project Hail Mary. It is just the same guy that wrote The Martian. It is exactly like The Martian in the sense
It
that
is
it
a
gets you
very
by
fun
the
one.
balls on page one. And from then, it's such a great, just space opera in its own way. It's so nice. I really,
Yeah.
really enjoyed that book.
Yeah, and mine was the latest Lee Child book. If you're a fan
I
of
mean,
Jack
of
Reacher,
course. I mean, I have
latest
friends
Lee
who are, so
Child
I get it.
was
Yeah.
so much fun. Like I literally bought it and I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh it's a good story. Oh my god. So every morning I'm like, chal, abhi to padna hai, raat ko padna hai, and then just completely. So now I've moved on to something called the People on Platform 5. So it's not a very hardcore story, but it's fun. It's fun. So
Okay,
it's one of
nice.
those where you're like passively reading. So yeah,
Nice.
please, that is the reading this thing. Also, by the way, just very importantly to all the people who are watching, guys, please, I would suggest you guys like the stream and also
Yes.
keep chatting. We are replying to your questions. We are keep it considerable. Like it's a very relaxed stream. It's 4 o'clock on the 30th of December. Firstly, no one is
Yeah.
streaming.
First of all,
It
yeah.
is
All right.
no
You
one
are in
streaming.
pajamas. We are in pajamas.
Yeah,
This
it's
is the pajamas of the year. Everybody accepts this. All
this.
right.
Look at this. I'm
Yeah.
I'm fully casual. Today I
If
decided
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
intro
If
भी नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है.
कुछ
Zoom
नहीं,
से
कुछ
direct
नहीं, bro.
stream करेंगे.
If an afternoon nap was a week, it would be this last week of December. All right. This
Yeah,
is the science. This
it's
is a fact. Also, but speaking of books, Karun, interesting track you've taken us on because it occurs to me that one great, especially if you're like, oh, I've been watching a lot of stuff and now I want to get into reading. One amazing sort of halfway house slash transitionary place is comics. Because if you're like,
ooh.
oh, I don't want the visual, I've been visual this whole time, and now to go into words will be difficult. Like a good, and especially if like big comics seem inaccessible, I always say limited series or like graphic novel runs.
Oh,
Things like
mouse.
say like
Sit
I
down
know,
with
and
mouse.
even in like superhero stories, right? Like that,
Yeah.
I really recommend Tom King's like Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Very fun story, and it's literally available as one like 100-page book, or it was 10 issues or 12 issues essentially. Ditto with if you can find say the Darth Vader comics, the Charles Soule run specifically, it was 20 issues. It essentially picks up right after the end of Revenge of the Sith and sort of takes you closer to a New Hope. And essentially, I've when I described it, I called it Darth Vader's gap year, basically, like in the
It's
sort
funny.
of series.
That's funny.
And so before you get to full books, like small, like Tintin, always great. Asterix, always great. Mouse, like you said,
Mouse is
always good,
always a fantastic
always
start.
amazing.
Uh,
So yeah, basically as a result, comics always a great place to start if you're having this thing with a reading slump, and then go into something like a full-on book after you've done comics for a bit. That sometimes helps me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Two questions. Did we read Lightbringer by Pierce Brown? I have not
Did
read
not.
Lightbringer,
No,
but
I
with
have not
Percy
read
Jackson.
Lightbringer. Yes.
Someone mentioned Percy Jackson. I am
Yes.
very,
How
very
is the new
excited to
show?
watch it. I
3
don't know. I
episodes
want
are
to
out.
watch it.
Okay,
I've
3
heard
episodes are out.
I've heard it's fun because also
Okay,
Rick
nice.
Riordan is the
Involved, correct.
writer. He's also
Correct,
involved
correct.
in it. So it's not like a complete sham. So I'm
Yeah.
super excited because I have spent my nephews, like I keep introducing them to things that I have grown up reading. And for me, Percy Jackson was one of those series where it was just so much. I went through I got so hooked onto mythology because of that entire series, and then he moved on to Egyptian mythology and everything. Yes.
Haven't read it.
Kick in it! Full kick! How?
I'm sorry. I know. I was like, man, I wanted to tell you, but before I knew, we were at 50 episodes, and then I was like, how do I tell him now? It'll break his heart. And yeah, I'm so sorry, fam. I'm
It
so
is it is fine.
sorry
It
to
is it
all
is fine.
oils.
It is fine.
I
It is
understand
fine.
oils.
It is
I'm
fine.
very sorry.
No,
But
it is fine. I mean, see, that's what I'm trying to say. There is
but
no.
where I'm coming from is everybody I know who's read the series has great love for it. And as a result of that, I'm now wondering if I should just watch the show without reading the book. So it might be nice to go in with no baggage at all and just sort of take
No,
the show
I
on its
mean,
own terms.
I'll tell you what.
I'll chat. What do you recommend? I'm genuinely curious.
Books are silly. That's what I mean to say. Books are, see, that's what I'm saying now. It is meant for kids, but it is also fun. Like what I mean to say is it's an easy read, right?
Okay.
It's like in a day you could easily finish off. Like in 2 days you'll finish off the first book, and you're like, this is fun. I like it. And it's like now if you were to tell me read Goosebumps, I'll sit in 1 hour, I'll finish off Goosebumps.
Yeah,
One
sure,
book.
sure,
You know,
sure.
it's like that. It's not like a heavy,
Okay.
absorbent sort of book. And also it's a fun series. So
Okay, cool.
yeah.
Okay, then I will do that and I will hold off on the show for a bit.
All right. So let's do the recap of 2023, right?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Since you mentioned Scavenger's Reign, what happened?
No. Some random audio started playing. So super sorry for that.
Since you mentioned Scavenger's Reign, if I may then recap with animation as a start. Because for one of my big trends of the year for me personally, I thought animation had a banger year. Like I thought overall it was just a great sort of couple. Like even if I just sort of bring in some of last year, this thing, it's just been an excellent and across the board. I think in the movie format, I think like sort of Ghibli had a couple of good ones. Then there was Puss in Boots, The Last Wish. I keep coming back to this. It is criminal how fun that movie is. Even if you've just seen the first Shrek.
Also, what a deviation from the animation that they normally do, right?
Just beautiful. It's so wholesome. That's the word I'm looking. It's wholesome. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I was just going to come to TMNT.
What an excellent film. I watched it a couple of weeks ago. I enjoyed the shit out of it. We had the Spider-Verse. We've had Scavenger's Reign. We've had Pluto. We've had Blue-Eyed Samurai.
Blue-Eyed Samurai also.
We've had all of these things sort of happen. We've had I know I'm forgetting things. I know I'm forgetting things.
I'll tell you which show it is. Just keep talking. I'll tell you what it's called.
Oh man, Suzume also came out this year. Yes. Suzume also came out this year. Like that is what a year for animation. Like
there's a show called Undone. Okay, it is on Prime.
Oh, I've seen Undone. It's brilliant. But Undone was last year. Season 2 came out this year. Undone was last year.
Came out. That's what I'm saying. Season 2 came out this year. I'm saying in a year, if you're describing like a great year for animation, I think the animation
Scott Pilgrim takes off also.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Undone. Nimona was this year. Exactly. Nimona was this year. If you haven't seen Nimona, please watch Nimona. It's such a fucking wholesome movie. Nimona. Person who did BoJack Horseman. So not surprising at all.
No, it has been a very good year for animation.
Like,
it has
a year. Like just what a year for animation. This great year.
And Castlevania Nocturnal.
And Castlevania,
I started watching Castlevania also, and I'm like, so you know what has happened, right? So this year for me it's the same thing, right? I've not been I've slowly gotten into anime per se, but also like they like Castlevania is anime, but it's just the style. It's not necessarily Japanese animation. But the quality of animated content that I am watching has changed. Like I'm just watching it, and
Invincible season 2 also. Invincible season 2 also came out this year.
Can I just tell you, since you're mentioning it, there is a sequence in Invincible season two, where Alan the Alien makes his entry and that song plays. And that has to be one of the greatest
Just too
ending
good.
tracks, but hype
Too good.
music. I will
Too
leave the
good.
link. I will leave in the chat also. I will tell you, please. Oh my God, that song. It's every time I'm like, I want to hype myself for a show, I will listen to it. When You Want Me by Spielberg. Also, real quick, let's just quickly read out two super chats. Rath Howler has said, looking forward to the show in Goa. Happy early New Year to everyone. Thank you so much, Rath Howler.
Oh, of course.
And,
When You Want Me, I know. I have it. I have it on my playlist like already.
Bro, what a
Like full on.
song!
Of course, it's on my playlist.
If I could,
Dang, dang,
I get goosebumps just thinking about our visit, man. And Ashutosh said, betrayal, Rohan. It's not fine. Read the books first. PGO, it shaped my life, getting comfortable with ADHD.
Books first.
Even Shakya would hate you for this. Okay.
He does hate me for this. This is a thing. It's a thing.
What If season 2 also just came out, but no.
What If season 2? There's some fun episodes in there, huh? What If season 2? They're doing an episode a day. They're dropping, and it's very, very fun.
And I've heard of Pantheon. I've heard a lot. That's also apparently a sleeper hit that a lot of people are going to see.
And we're getting the next season of Arcane next year. So
finally, it's coming. I thought Arcane took 7 years to make the first one. So I hope that getting the second season back is also. Some shows now, every time you pause, like Scavenger's Reign, every time I'm pausing,
every frame of painting,
wallpaper. Yeah,
literally every frame of painting. Like it's literally so. Yeah, great year for animation. Before we move on to whatever next, very quickly, yes, would like to shout out to the person in the chat who said Doctor Who had a great couple of weeks. I enjoyed the specials. I thought that the first one was like a 7 on 10. I thought that the second one, and I think this might be recency bias, but for me, it is like up there with like just Blink or Empty Child in terms of
how
just
crazy it is, right?
Just, no, also just pure standalone bonkers Who essentially escape room, pure escape room Doctor Who, right? Peak, and that is my favorite when a Doctor Who episode is just the Doctor and his wits in an escape room, basically. And then, of course, you've got Donna Noble. Donna Noble. And then, those sequences were straight up Attack on Titan Nightmare Fuel.
Yeah, when the giant,
big ones
when the
chase them
run
down the corridor, that was some straight up freaking Attack on Titan shit. It was terrifying. And it was next level. Like, Wild Blue Yonder was on, like, all-time episode for me.
Listen, I'll be honest. First one, I was disappointed. Second one, I'm like, cool, nice, fun. But the third one, even though people are giving it flack, I
loved it.
Enjoyed every moment of Neil Patrick Harris.
I'm sorry.
And the dance sequence and everything.
I am from the 80s and the 90s, okay? Which means I have seen from Doogie Howser to Harold and Kumar to How I Met Your Mother, Neil Patrick Harris. And also, I love, and I say this word not lightly, I on a personal level love the Spice Girls. Like, if this all 5 Spice Girls said we're coming back for a tour and every single ticket,
of course we'd all
100,000 pounds of this thing, I would sell all organs, go in this thing, watch that thing, and then die. So Neil Patrick Harris singing to dancing to spice up your life is like, Okay. Can I tell you a really cool story? Can I tell you a really cool and stupid story?
Yeah.
That is, oh my God, the inside is so cool.
So I'm so sorry to distract. I've been holding it
no.
It opens in, and every time you open it, the light over here lights up. Okay, and it goes whoosh. Sorry.
That's the greatest thing I have ever seen.
I am too into Doctor Who, so like it.
No. So you know what?
Resurgence.
I am gonna tell you a story about the Doctor, and I had a personal Christmas miracle where the Doctor saved my life.
Doctor Who?
Yeah, the Doctor saved my life this Christmas, and I will show you. Okay. This is one proper story. Give me a second.
Please. All right, guys. Any Doctor Who fans over here? Because I think only one person mentioned Doctor Who. But like seriously, I think Doctor Who is such a fun show. I don't know what to say. I love I love it.
Okay.
I love it. And yeah, Rohan's back with the Doctor story. Please go.
So
I'm all yours.
I live alone.
Yeah.
Okay. I live alone, which means that the one thing I can never do is lock myself outside or forget my keys inside, because there is nobody. Okay, like in the sense that there's like, it's literally, I live on my own. Like, especially if I come home late at night, like, and I've locked my keys inside, I'm like, I have to wake somebody up or I'm like doomed. Okay. And like, the person who has my keys is very far away, actually. Okay. So I went one night, twas the night before Christmas. And I was coming home, and I may have been a little inebriated. Okay.
Sure.
And I may have been stumbling a bit. And yet I was also sort of fully in my senses. So I was like, okay, let me make sure so I'm not fumbling around at the door. When I like get out of the cab only, and before I get into the lift only, I will take my keys out of my bag and I will hold them in my hand so that I don't have to worry about it. Except I'm taking the keys out of my bag as I open the lift door, and I fumble them, and the keys fall to the ground and roll and fall into the gap between the lift and the platform,
No,
until
no.
suddenly there is a whooshing sound, and they are caught and stopped by the TARDIS, which is the only thing wide enough to stop it from falling into the platform.
I
And the
love it.
TARDIS
I
saved my
love it.
life at 2 o'clock in the morning. The
I
TARDIS
love it.
grabbed my keys as they fell.
I
Literally, they're
love
dangling,
it.
and the TARDIS is upside down, and it is
I love
holding the
it.
keys.
I
And that
love
is
it.
how the Doctor saved my life on Christmas. So
Oh,
yeah,
that is a prop. So
yeah,
man, yeah. I love you. I every time I'm watching Doctor Who, I love the idea of this police box. I love the blue police box. It is just such a it's such a silly idea. You know, when if you go back as to how they came up with the idea of the police box and how they grabbed it and they're like, okay, this is it. And as the show has progressed, as you were saying, right? Spice Girls, anything with Spice Girls, hell yeah. Toy Maker, I loved the mischief. It reminded me of, if you
yeah.
remember, Loki from Supernatural had that
Yeah,
entire
yeah. Also, just the
nonsense,
idea
right?
that, again, it's like that in the Marvel universe of this thing, the sort of people who sit above gods, and this
Yeah,
like the Celestials and the Eternals who sort of are there, and who are like Lord Chaos and Master Order, right? Literally that
yeah.
level of this thing. So yeah, this idea that, yeah, to me the universe is a game, literally, and
I
the
love
rules
it.
get, and again,
I
just that little
love it.
callback from Wild Blue Yonder, right, where he's like, I hope this salt thing doesn't come back
Yeah,
to
yeah.
haunt me later on. And he's like,
Listen,
how did he enter our universe? And he's like, the
late,
salt,
yeah,
the
latest
goddamn
episode.
salt.
Like now that they have, that's how you say his name, Chuti. You
Shooty,
don't say, and
shooty,
Chuti
shooty.
Gatwa. And he mentions Mavity. And I'm like,
Yeah, yeah,
hey, very well done.
yeah.
Very well done. I
Mavity is
like
a
him,
thing
dude.
now. He's
I like
great.
him.
He's great. I
I'm
enjoyed
loving,
that episode. It was a slow
I'm loving
start,
it.
but it got better. Like, I thought the first 15-20 minutes were very, but man, they're like, now that it's on Disney Plus, they're like really throwing special effects money at it, which is nice to see.
It's
Like
been
the
a,
goblins are
it's
nice and cute. And
Goblin, the
as
Goblin
somebody,
song. The
oh,
Goblin
dude, you know
song.
what? If you had to, I would not have expected a duet between goblins and the Doctor and a new
It,
companion,
it,
while a baby is being conveyor belted into.
what do I tell
So
you?
silly, so delightful. So silly, so delightful.
That's what it
Cute.
is,
Eh?
right? It's supposed the Christmas specials have to be silly. They can't be like dark, you know. But so
Just
it's
too good.
been, you know what I think. So like as I was watching Doctor Who, as I'm watching all these shows, I realized like for me, like I am enjoying shows that are not taking the, how do I put it? They're not taking themselves too seriously, you know. Like, and
Basically,
that's why I
the
like
streaming
this.
era equivalent of network television is coming into its own. Like, you know, the idea of
Both,
how there were 24 episode network television basic shows, right? Like,
yeah,
just legal show, 24 episodes. Now streaming
yeah,
is starting to finally, like, everything doesn't have to be prestige TV. Like,
yeah.
you can just watch a show for the sake of watching a show. Like, another show that I've just really enjoyed this month, and out of nowhere, it's not at all like profound, or it's not even trying to be like a gritty this thing, but Apple TV's Monarch Legacy of Monsters.
Okay,
It is
okay. I've
set in the
heard of it.
Godzilla universe. It's basically
Yeah.
a god. It's an expansion on the Godzilla universe, and it's essentially about Monarch, the organization that does the kaiju tracking and the sort of secret shadow organization that does it, and these three kids that fall into this whole thing. And dude, it's just like, it's essentially like a Hunt for Godzilla show, but with just epic cinematic budget thrown at it. And then it's not profound. It's just fun. And the cool thing about the show is, and this is me trying to sell it to you guys, the 8th episode just came out this week. So there's good 8 episodes of the first season. It's 2 parallel timelines. So there's the 50s when they were just finding out who Godzilla is and Monarch was just being established. And there's present day. And there's one character who is played by Wyatt Russell in the young timeline and Kurt Russell as the older version.
Very nice. Very nice.
It's really nicely, it's not just gimmicky, it's really nicely done. Like the arcs and it's just really fun because you're watching and suddenly for 5 minutes there's a Godzilla sequence in a TV show. Nice. And you're like, okay. And from what I've heard, Godzilla -1 is also an incredible movie. Like the reviews are next level. It's the Godzilla movie that came out this year. Godzilla -1.
Oh,
it's getting incredible reviews.
Interesting. I'll check it out. I'm making a list of things. By the way, if someone can make a list of things, by the way, please do. I'm trying to make a list, but also if someone, as we say, the Mafatlal of the month is someone who makes a list and leaves it in the comment section. So whoever's watching, if you can make a list of all the records and put it in the comment section, that'll be really awesome. Godzilla -1, I have added. What else?
I
mean, no, please go for it.
No, go for it. Oh, okay. If you have something, go for it. Otherwise, I just have lists there.
I don't have anything. I'm just I'm gonna go through everything. Make my list also.
So also, I thought this year in retrospect, be one of the all-time gangster years for gaming. Like at least for this generation of gaming, I think this is one of the all-time gangster years. Okay,
that's because there's nothing. We peaked, right? It is like everything that was promised to us came this year, and that's
somehow we got. It's almost like looking at a sort of year in Hollywood 10 years ago. All right, there was a Harry Potter release, a Star Wars release, a big third fantasy release in Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
There was a breakout hit horror movie in Alan Wake. There was and it's just what a year. And we've not even scraped the surface of like the indie stuff, like or any of that. So it's just what a year. And I say this, and I've told you about this, and I've counted it, and this is my great sort of admission of shame. Part of the reason I haven't. It's not even about the walkthrough anymore. For the end of the year, I owe it to the oils, to be honest with you. So admitting addiction is one of those things, right?
Yeah.
I counted last night at 5:30 a.m. when I turned the game off. I counted, and since mid-August to now, I have spent 410 hours inside Baldur's Gate 3. 410 hours total across campaigns, which is 410 hours of all other life stuff and pop culture, watching, consuming, everything, work, 410 hours. That is close to almost 20 full days.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's my thing is you have said this again and again and again, and I've always been like, Rohan, you're right. I will play this game eventually, and I'm very afraid because the thing is I have an addictive personality, which means if I like something, I love it, and then I'm gone forever. And if I go down this path, I will be more than 410 hours. And I'm going to be very scared because I know what it has done to you. I know.
And do you know what's absolutely ruining my brain?
What?
Third playthrough, 70% in, out of nowhere, random new discovery. At a point where I'm like, surely by now, every outcome that can be outcome and every random encounter and every like sewer hole has been opened and looked in. No. Just another random, unique dialogue, scene, magic weapon out of nowhere, story beat, discovered, doing something. And just seamless. Seamless and delightful.
I always feel, right? It's like in a very interesting sense. Like I always feel like when it comes to how do I put it? For zones, you need to be in a zone to watch something, right? You need to be in a zone to play something or do something. Right now, I'm so tempted to download the game because I played a D&D inspired game yesterday. I went to play a board game. It's called Lords of the Waterdeep. I don't know.
Yeah. Of course.
Mazak.
Oh man.
So now I am.
You know the thing is, right? If you play Baldur's Gate, it's just like you said Waterdeep only, and I'm like, it's one of those. It's like, क्या बताओ अब Waterdeep के बारे में?
अभी हम चले
मतलब
गए नीचे
हमारे
मैं गया
so
for
you
the
know how
next
you're
two
saying
three
that you
days.
have to be in the zone. So one is
Yeah,
having to be in the zone, but there's the other side of this, which is that some games once they put you in the zone, you don't want to get out of it. Like I have Alan Wake 2 ready and like it's downloaded, it's ready to go. But every
yeah,
time I put on my PlayStation, I'm just like, you know what? No, I'm going to do. Sometimes I'll just spend 3 hours in there respecking the characters. Like
yeah.
just really like what it's just and I'm telling you, man, if you're gonna play it on the PS, I will join you. We will play co-op, local co-op, and we will have
Baldo
the
na
most
Baldo.
Baldo. Yeah, and
Yeah,
we'll have so much fun, no? Just
I'm
like magic fucking our way through this land. It'll be great.
done. I'm done. I'm done. We should, by the way, also like if anyone's interested in watching us stream it, we can always stream it later on
I'm
when we are in a
100% down
zone.
for it.
Yeah.
410 more
If anyone is
hours.
watching, just
410 more hours. Here we go.
it's us going down. Okay, so yeah, fantastic year for video games. As someone also
Yeah.
very clearly mentioned, fantastic year for Shah Rukh Khan.
So
Shah
that was
Rukh
my
Khan.
other thing. Yes,
Tera
incredible
sal.
year for
Shah
Shah
Rukh
Rukh
Khan.
Khan. And as a larger this thing of that, just in general, what a year for the coming back to theaters. For people just really like, we thought last year we were talking about, but this year, dude, this was the year of Barbenheimer and Jawan. And like even whatever you think of it, like the Animal box office and Salar box office, and people just coming like back to theaters by
But
like the thousands.
it's also the it's like this, right? It's like I would say 2023. I wouldn't say 2023 has been a okay. I'll give you what I'm trying to say. Vox has released this beautiful video, right, called the 2023 in 7 minutes. And
Right.
6 minutes of that is just disaster, earthquake, war, genocide, just it's just death. It's just back to back death. The last 1 minute is there's
This is
hope and love
basically
and
the
all.
pitch meeting for Earth when like it was being
Yeah.
pitched to God. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
so got this idea. Okay, 7 minutes. Right, for the first 6 minutes, it's like God, it's death and genocide and disaster. And on the seventh day, you rest.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, he's like, now we'll give them 1 day of just chill, be chill. And I really feel like it is a year of escapism for a lot of people, right? And we have got content to escape to, good content. I understand what it feels like to watch a crazy movie in the theater, like a Shah Rukh movie, screaming and shouting. Or I
Yeah,
know, I want to watch Salar. I went to see Animal just to hear the chaos that would happen around
100%.
me because that is not there here, at
I
home when you
think
watch it.
I think also not just a year, but we're entering like a mini era of escapism, right? Because I think this happened earlier also. When the times were great and plenty, we had our grittiest sort of HBO years, right? And now in a sort of post-COVID world, it's sort of like you said, everything is disaster, disaster, disaster.
Yeah.
Then I think for the next couple of years, you're going to, which is why honestly, I just really want to watch Godzilla instead of like a gritty this thing. Like for a bit, it would be nice.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
I unlike like there was a time where I could take Game of Thrones, but in a post-COVID world, I feel like I would be nice to see a show where the good guys just win for a bit. Like would be nice. So yeah.
Yep. To answer Pratik's this thing, I put Pratik in timeout. I'm super sorry, but he was spamming. But to answer Pratik's question, Rick and Morty,
ठीक था
no, I saw
यार.
2 episodes and I'm like,
ठीक
ठीक है
था.
यार.
It just
The
is.
thing
It's a
is,
show that's in its seventh season now, and it's doing its
नहीं
thing.
हो
And
गया. Yeah, they are. It's like on autopilot. The plans and plot is everything set. The
it
voices
just
are
is.
okay.
Couple
ठीक
of
है.
inspired jokes, and then it's just sort of there. I also
Yeah,
maybe I
not
think feel like this was a reset year because they had a bunch of creative changes as well. So maybe
big,
next year they will.
a big creative change, but
Right. So
it's
yeah.
Yash Yadav, since you are mentioning it, and since someone else also mentioned it,
No,
just
not
to
seen.
add to this, he's not seen it, but I love the show to bits, and I am addicted to that show, and it is taking me a path of watching anything and everything. So I will definitely go down that path. In terms of other shows, there was this, which was the one, The Bear. Oh my God.
Bear had
Oh
a
my
fantastic
God.
season. What a
Can I
great season.
can I just tell anybody who is here, please, you watch The Bear season 1. And the reason why I'm telling you to watch The Bear season 1 is because season 2 has one episode, which for me, hands down, has to be one of the, I think, the greatest character development episodes of all time.
Of course. Of
And
course.
if I
Of
ever go
course.
to a Taylor Swift concert for
Oh,
whatever
100%.
reason, I will
I will.
100% be excited for that one moment. That's all. I'm not
Yes,
giving any
chef.
spoilers. I'm just telling you. But
Yes, chef.
cousin,
Cousin, dude.
uh,
Cousin. There's just
such-
since that episode, there's just been random days where if I have like a tiny moment of inspiration also, I'll just be
yeah.
like, micro basil, fuck yeah. Like just that's it.
Oh man, I love that show so. I've been
Oh
like,
man.
people keep asking, and I'm like, yo, you have to, have to. If I'm not wrong, wasn't Menu also this year?
The menu was, I think, late last year or early this year.
If I'm not wrong,
Not
it was
sure.
this year. No, it was late last year. Sorry, my bad, my bad.
Late last year, yeah.
I mean, yes, you said Barbie and
Succession ended
Oppenheimer.
this year, boss.
So, brother,
Succession ended this year.
on a side note, okay, just to let you know, sorry, this is my on a side note. So, fun fact, if anyone is interested, KB did an end of the year quiz with Rohan, Anirban, and Kanan. Okay, so I saw the stream and I'm watching the stream. Okay, so like the first two questions, I'm like, yeah, fuck, it's too. I don't know what is happening. Then there's a middle question where he's talking about, this old person, and then this guy retired, this guy died. It took me a second, and I'm like, Rupert Murdoch, Logan Roy, come on, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Someone answer quickly,
Yeah.
please. But yeah, what a great ending. That's
one of the all-time great shows, straight up, just because I think perfect start to finish. Like, I don't think like there is like, I cannot think of a bad episode of Succession. Like, I don't think there's such a thing as a bad episode of Succession, like at all. I think, yeah, Succession, all bangers all the time. Barry also ended this year. I think it was great. But also, I thought that the fourth season or the final season was a little underwhelming after I thought the third season was like the peak of the show. Like, just absolute peak of the show.
with the chase sequence, man. That
entire third season was sublime. Like, just completely sublime. Very enjoyable. Barry dipped a little bit. Yep. And yeah, moving, I haven't seen, but I've heard lots of recommendations about moving. Under the Banner of Heaven, great show.
Karun,
I don't know whether it was this year or not.
We will go completely downhill, like not downhill, but if we have discussed it also, if there is the greatest ever superhero show ending or just a perfect character arc, since we are talking about character arcs, Loki season 2 has 10 years of character arc redeemed.
I think one of the best final shots of like a movie or a series or a comic book, like that I've possibly seen. Like, just stunning, like absolutely stunning. Like, in the sense, whatever, like the season itself was fun, decent, had some middling bits, but the way it sort of, I felt like it paid off. Just entertaining, like emotionally perfect, right? Like, yes, it's a time travel story. You need to think about it. 4,000 loopholes will come up, but that's all time travel stories. But I just really enjoyed it very, very much.
Loki was one of
it was
those
beautiful,
shows.
like beautiful.
A little bit of in the time where you're in the middle, you're like,
but no.
Yeah, but then
Great.
just
Yeah. Phoebe, R.I.P. Kang. Kang died on his way home to his home planet. So somehow Kang has not returned. They should explain away with one line, like a Star Wars was. Somehow Kang did not return. And then just move on. Like, that's it.
Kang is Assault on Titan. That is it.
Kang,
that is his show. Not even Attack.
Yeah, Kang the Conquered. Kang the Conquered.
Just them sitting and just being like, okay, now we need to delete this. बाकी नहीं है भाई, डाल देंगे, कुछ ना कुछ डाल देंगे. McDonald's का कोई outro shots है? Yeah, the burger making shots or something we can add to fill up the space in this sequence.
Brother went from Kang to Dang so far. But
since
yes,
we are on this
in a way,
topic,
also
not a
giving
good
them
year
great
for hero
place.
movies.
But just also great place for like Marvel to like be able to just take stock. In a bizarrely this thing way, like in a way, this is a like divine intervention for them almost in a horrible way. Where it's like, now stop, think a little bit, see what you want to do. Because I haven't seen the Marvel yet, and by all accounts, people are saying that a lot of the initial this thing against is quite misguided because it's apparently time pass, and they're like, it's okay for them to be time pass actually. It's apparently time pass.
But that's
Like,
what it is, right? That's the thing, right? So, for example, this year, if the greatest ever trend, like the biggest trend, if we have to talk about, it's the downfall of the big players. It's your Disney, your Marvel, your DC. It is a downfall because what has happened is from movies being fuck me, wow, great, amazing. It's been time pass. So it's not even worth going to
yeah.
the cinema to, and like movies from great directors, and you're like, हाँ ठीक
Oh
है यार
man, Secret Invasion
ठीक
was
है
very bad.
अभी ठीक है यार and it's not it's kind of interesting to see that as Shreyank mentioned, right? It's kind of interesting to see different things coming out that is just like it's not your big time Disney, Marvel, DC stuff, but it's just fun. Like as we've spoken about
Like
Scavengers Reign
Shreyank, also
also.
you said Gen V, right? So,
Exactly. What a show.
and we were talking about this the other day, right? Basically, they out X-Men the X-Men.
What a
They
show. Yeah.
essentially did R-rated X-Men before Disney had a shot at doing the X-Men, basically.
Now you've seen Marvel's post credit sequence.
No, I have not seen anything.
You want to know what
No,
happens?
I don't want to know anything. Shut your mouth. I'll watch it, is that say.
Okay, fine.
Don't be all like
Okay, no
this.
spoilers. By the way, leak me no spoilers. Leak me no spoilers. Also, by the way, on a completely unrelated note, since we are talking about just pop culture, I know 2023 has been like, I mean, I know the movie that I'm going to be talking about has not come out in 2023, but I saw Kantara recently and my mind was blown. And I just wanted to say it because I saw the trailer for part two, like a prequel of that movie. And then I'm like, chill, let me go down this path and watch this movie. And man, good
Yeah?
one, dude.
Okay.
Good one indeed.
Okay.
But in terms of Bollywood, I would say only one movie I can remember that I've actually gone to the theater, seen, enjoyed, had fun. And Rocky and Rani was a fantastic movie. Dude.
I have to watch that also still. Shit.
You've not seen Rocky Rani?
410 hours, Sahil. 410. They had to go somewhere. I've not seen anything. In fact, I will be this, let's say, second half of the year. I've seen, unless it's like an 8 episode like animated show, I actually probably haven't watched it. Because then it's time to go back to the Gate of Balder and enjoy. Sorry, you were saying. Yes.
No.
12th fail, man. Now 12th fail has come to this thing. I can't wait to watch it. It's been getting incredible reviews.
Has it come on streaming? Because a lot of people told me watch it,
I
and I
think it
didn't go
has.
to
I
the
think
theater
it's
and watch
out.
it.
I think it's out on streaming.
Okay, okay.
On Hotstar. There we go.
Oh, sweet. I'm definitely going to watch 12th
Fantastic.
Fail.
I know what I'm watching tonight.
No, you're going to be watching Baldur's Gate Part 2. You're definitely going to be watching that only. Don't lie. Don't lie. But yeah, it's also been it's also been a very fun year because I would say starting the end of last year and this year was the entry of the legendary Vijay Sethupathi in Bollywood.
Oh,
And
of
now that
course.
Sir has made his entry, Sir is just all over the place.
Sir is
Sir is now
enjoying.
coming in movie with Katrina Kaif. And I'm like,
Sir is
Sir,
enjoying. Sir
Sir,
is
you
fully
are
enjoying.
Sir, you are absolute legend in all aspects. If there is one actor whose movies I've seen all of his movies, and he's just he's perfect in everything, like effortless. Have you seen
He's
Vikram Vedha,
amazing.
the original one?
No,
Have you seen
I have
the?
not. I have not
Okay,
seen either.
okay, my
410
friend.
hours, Sahil. 410
No. Okay,
hours.
cool. Okay, if I were to give a reco in terms of like, because I watch a lot of regional films, please watch Vikram Vedha, the OG one with Vijay Sethupathi and Madhavan. Fucking stellar cast. Okay, the new remake had Ritik and Saif. Also, fuck, very
Yes.
tough to do a good job, but killed it. Any one of those, man, you just watch that movie, you watch Vijay, and you're like, buddy, tera tu bol, main dekh lunga. Tu bol. And he'll take you down this path. Since I'm on this path, there's a director because in 2023 a brand sequel to this movie came out. There's a director called Karthik Subbaraj. Okay, and I love Karthik Subbaraj because every movie of his has a little bit of a plot twist at the end. Okay, and Karthik Subbaraj has done some. I've seen all his movies, and he loves. It's the same. Helena Bonham and what's that guy's name? Yeah, I forgot. What's Helena Bonham Carter and who's
Tim
the guy?
Burton.
Tim Burton, the Muse, sorry. So Jigar Tanda Part 2 is the movie that came out this year. Jigar Tanda Part 1 is, you should watch that. That is also a
Okay.
fantastic movie. There's a movie with Vijay Sethupathi called Pizza. Just watch that also.
Okay.
See the full movie. Don't know what the fuck
Okay.
is happening.
Okay. Love it.
Sorry,
Best.
just taking you down
I'm
this
a huge
path.
fan of movies like this. I'm a huge fan of movies like this.
Oh,
Where
dude.
Follow the
Oh,
House of Usher was good. That was good. Yes, absolutely it was Shah Rukh here. Like there's no debate about this at all.
bro, 3 बड़ा मूवी आया है ये साल उसको मतलब and
Bhai,
banger after banger after banger भाई के पास भाई has come back even though he didn't need a comeback but he's come back and he's come back like how
is full.
Rebel Moon not seen.
You know what? I'm kind of done with Zack Snyder, guys. Like,
Okay, slow motion बहुत.
my firm belief. I've said before. I would say it again. Zack Snyder needs like a producer who can like really like rein him in, and like and he needs a writer. Like he needs to work on somebody else's written project. Like he needs to work on somebody else's written. He is a good director. Honestly, I think he is actually a fantastic like visual conceptualizer. Like that's his thing. That's his jam. Genuinely, that is his thing. Don't say that unkindly. He genuinely has some very great sort of visual thoughts. And I don't say the story is not his strong point. It's genuinely not his strong point. And I think that can really be redeemed if he works with somebody else where they bring that side out. But he's just not doing that. And I think part of this sort of like, as much as I like the Snyder cut or whatever, just the amount of deriding that went on into it has turned it into like this sort of no,
He's
Snyder
become that
is
crazy guy. Yeah,
Snyder
God.
is Snyder and he must be allowed to Snyder at all times. I'm like, no, Snyder should go out and touch some grass for a bit and like work with other people. And I think, and I'm not saying that in an unkind way because I genuinely believe there's some phenomenal shit waiting to happen if that happens. Like literally like genre defining like action movies can happen. But I don't know, Zaki, come on, please.
Chat has mentioned 2 fantastic records. It's been an okay year for horror per se. Horror, they've just continued with the franchises and all of that. Nothing super scary. Talk to Me was a I know people swear like people also really like Evil Dead Rise. I didn't like it that much, but for me, Talk to Me was one of. Have you seen Talk to Me?
I have not seen Talk to Me, but I saw last night that it has come to rentable movies, so I will be renting it tonight. I feel like the second last night of the year is a good night to watch a horror movie. Actually,
I loved that movie. So
okay, cool.
also
I'm
because it
glad.
was your typical Gen Z horror movie, right? It was
Nice,
about
nice. I don't know what it's
TikTok and
about. Don't tell me
creating.
anything. Don't tell me anything.
No. I'm
I
just
haven't
telling
even
you
seen a
like,
trailer. Don't tell me anything. I haven't even seen a trailer. I just want to go
did you
in blind.
see? Did you see Kho Gaye Hum Kaha? Since we are
I
on the
did see
topic
Kho
of
Gaye
Gen
Hum
Z,
Kaha. I did see Kho Gaye Hum
what
Kaha.
was your? I
I
really
thought
liked
it
that
was
movie.
I thought it was sweet. I thought it was sweet, and I just genuinely think in general, like, can we just have more movies that happen at this scale? Where like essentially the whole like the where without giving any spoilers, the conflict is like three people yelling at each other and maybe like three punches. Like, please, like, can we have more climaxes that happen in the courtyard of a building in Bombay?
Yeah.
Instead of like on this thing. Can we please have like I thought that there were points where it was a little slow, but overall I thought it was like sincere tha. Like in the sense, and
What
I
is
liked that I liked the sort of tempo actually. Where over those 2 hours, I'm very glad that this movie is happening at this tempo. Like more than
my
anything else.
my parents lately have been going down this entire path of this generation is fucked up, this generation is fucked up, like constantly Gen Z is stupid and all that. And I'm like, okay. So then they saw Kho Gaye Hum Kaha and they are like, we told you, generation
Yeah.
fucked up. This is
There
fucked up.
is
I'm like, okay.
there is one thing. The thing is, the
I
movie
get
has
it.
just come out, so I don't want to do spoilers. So when we do our next episode 8 months from now, remind me about this, and I will tell. There's just one tiny criticism I have, which is not just with this movie, but it's about one trope that comes out again without giving spoilers. It's just a trope that comes out in the climax, and it's just a trope I'm so goddamn done with. Like that particular trope, and it's not a criticism. I've seen a lot of like movies and shows, etc., use it, and I just personally find that trope like it's a pet peeve. That one trope is a personal pet peeve, and it's just I'm like, and not for any other reason. Then it's just I don't. It'll be spoilers, so forget it.
No
It's
problem.
essentially it's a version of Deus Ex Machina, basically, when you can't explain why a character is complicated, basically, without giving spoilers. That little bit sometimes frustrates me when that one trope is used. But other than that, I thought it was a very sweet film, and I completely get why like people are relating to it.
Yeah,
Like,
I actually, I genuinely
because
enjoyed
again,
it.
I just watched it. So the thing is, I just saw again full disclosure. We've interviewed the cast
No,
for the
of
Netflix
course, of
channel,
course, of
etc.
course.
All of that. But I'm giving you my honest thoughts on the movie in terms of when I watched it. It's not. It's just. Sorry, what was the thought? What did we say just before this?
There's a trend that you're hating in movies where it's
So
a
one
do
thing that
sex.
I really liked is like because I watched the film before it came out and I had no idea sort of what it was about, just a couple of days before, like for this interview. So I just thought, oh, okay, cool sort of story about friends, etc., whatever. One nice like directorial touch that I'd like to put in there is the sort of we're all looking at our phones all the time creeps in very nicely. Like when that sort of idea that it's not forced on you at the start. That sort of comes in very nicely. Oh, this is not actually a movie about three friends. This is a movie about three friends and that thing that's always there and that specific relationship. And that's an interesting lens. Like, and usually that can be done like very cringily. And I felt like they walked that line better than like I think some films would have in terms of how they portray the sort of likes and validation side of young people's lives.
Yeah, of course. I mean, there are 2, 3 sequences where all three of them are just sitting on their phone doing their own thing. And I'm like, yeah. This is the hang nowadays, Like, hey, you want to hang? Yeah, let's sit in the same room and look at each other's phones. What else? That's
like I've not
better
seen
this thing.
Joyland, I've not seen Poor Things, I have not seen Talk to Me. I will watch.
And I've also not seen Saltburn, which is apparently the new
Oh
movie that
yeah,
people are
but
losing
Saltburn
their
is
shit
quite
about.
like divisive. But let's see. Yeah,
It's one of those where people are like, क्या हुआ? पता नहीं, देख लेंगे, sort of,
very
देख
good,
लेंगे.
very good.
Also, quick pause. Please, like, whoever's watching, guys, we got around like 150, 160 people watching. Like the bao, dosto. Like the bao. So
Arey,
more
Jury
people
Duty
know.
was this year. Jury Duty was this year. Surely you've watched Jury
not
Duty.
seen. No. I need to
Please
watch
Jury Duty. Please watch Jury
Jury
Duty. Sahil, please watch it. It's so sweet. It's so sweet. Oh my God, Jury Duty. You know the premise of Jury Duty?
Yeah, I know. I've seen he's surrounded by actors and he has no idea, right?
No idea. He thinks he's actually doing Jury Duty and everybody else there is an actor. And again, one of the reasons it's been one of my favorite things is because this is a premise that in the wrong hands could have been just used for humiliation and awkwardness.
Which has happened, by the way.
That happened a lot, but
yeah.
this, they really sort of, I don't know how to explain it. It's the first, it's not a prank, it's somewhere between a prank show and a sitcom.
Yeah.
And somehow, with both those things, they still sort of somehow tend towards light and the warmth. I don't know how they've managed it, but they've done a really sweet, like, it's one of the, for considering the sort of show it is, it's actually one of the sweetest season finales I've seen in my life.
Okay.
Right? Like, it's one of the sweetest season finale I've seen in my life.
Okay. I'm definitely going to check it out.
Very easy watch. Very easy watch.
Since you mentioned this about it going downhill, there are these 2, 3 video essays. Okay, there are 3 video essays which I would recommend people to watch. Okay, about shows very similar to Jury Duty. Okay, there was one where they did a reality show and everyone was an actor, and so what he thought his friends that he made on the show.
This is Windy City Heat.
I don't know what it's called.
Is this the Windy City Heat thing?
No, I don't know what it's called. That's what I'm saying. I don't remember, but I'm just saying these are just, I'll also put links to those essays when I find them. That is one where towards the end, when the reality show ended, you're like, what? Everyone's an actor. What? That's one. Number 2, there was this entire reality show where these people were trained and told that they were going to Mars, but they never did go to Mars. They were going to space, but they never did go. The whole thing was a sham. The whole thing was fake. They were put in a fake rocket that shook and moved around, and they believed that they were on their way to space. It's mad when you go down the way that people have pulled off an entire prank for a show.
Insane.
It is, bro. That
the rehearsal was this year.
Rehearsal was 2022. I just checked because that takes you
was
down
Shrinking
the path.
This year or last year?
I think Shrinking was this year. That's also a good show.
Because Shrinking, as chat has reminded us, exists and is a very sweet show.
Very
Shrinking
stupid
2023.
Show.
Very fun show.
Apple TV has a good year. Shrinking.
Very good year. Very, very good year.
Went downhill with Hijack.
Hey, something for everybody. Something for everybody. Of course. I've seen. Have you seen Leave the World Behind?
No, I've not seen Leave the World
Behind. Same guy that made Mr. Robot.
Okay.
Fargo season 5 is getting great reviews. Omelette, where to watch? Because I've been looking and I haven't been able to find.
I didn't even know there was a season 5. I thought there was
it's getting stellar reviews. No. The season 4 was okay. But season 5 is getting stellar reviews. VPN says Omelette.
But it is, you mean Friends.
Friends. Yeah. But Leave the World Behind. Okay, so this film has really divided people. Okay. And now the thing is, I am just like automatically programmed to, I think, like anything that Sam Ismail makes. Okay.
Okay.
He's my kind of weird in the sense that there's this very specific, like I've realized there's this specific kind of writer, director I have a man crush on, and I've had in every single era. Like, X-Files made Chris Carter,
Yeah.
right? Like he was the driving force for this sort of idea of this guy who sees the world as this conspiracy, but is sort of very articulate in spinning a horror narrative out of it, right?
Yeah.
While leaving things where I feel like Chris Carter did that with X-Files and Millennium. I feel like that's something that like this guy does really well with Mr. Robot and all his work. Like sort of he's done Homecoming, he's done all of those things. And Leave the World Behind is based on a book, it's just weird. It's just about it could be a play. Like it's just four people. It's just four people essentially at an Airbnb for the weekend under different circumstances. And the central premise of the film is everyone's phones aren't working. What's happening outside? Like everyone, no one can get in touch with anyone. Something has happened outside.
Okay.
Something. But what? And that's just, and again, it's one of those films that just goes into like these just weird little uneasy sequences. And then it's a little like Get Out light. It's like Jordan Peele light in a way. And some people are very like, oh, I don't know, like if like I enjoyed it, but I enjoyed it, like in the sense while it was this thing, I was like, oh, this is a nice weird. I enjoy this kind of weird, like very nicely. Holy shit, dude, how are we going to get through all of this, Sahil? Beef was this year, which Last of Us was this year. Silo was this year.
By the way, Silo book series, I started reading because of your reco, and I would say very fun book series. I've not seen the show. I love
very fun book series, no?
I love the book series.
Very fun and so fast.
Please read Silo. Yeah.
So fast.
To come back to a question asked an hour ago, if you want to get out of your reading slump, pick up books like this. Pick up Silo.
Yeah,
then you're like,
Silo.
oh, I want to know. And
same way, since somebody mentioned Lightbringer by Pierce Brown, just start with the Red Rising series. Like at first, if you're okay with like little, like the protagonist, the little emo guy, but
you're still not
the story is very fast.
8 saal ho gaya. You've still not read Miss Bond, no?
I'm 410 hours, Sahil. 410 hours. It's my answer to everything. 410 hours.
I would
How
say,
much fantasy can I fantasy at once? If I'm doing 410 hours in Baldur's Gate.
Yeah. Miss Bond is the one book which took me downhill completely got me out of my reading slump just for the magic system.
Downhill then, it carried you uphill.
Yo, it got me out. Like I was like, dude, I want to. So the problem with Brandon Sanderson is that he writes a lot. So the book would be like 400, 500 pages, but the magic system of Miss Bond is one of the. Basically, there are a breed of people where if you ingest a metal, each metal will give you a certain power. So iron will give you attraction, bronze will give you repulsion, so on and so forth. And it's set in a magical kingdom where this is the magic system. Without going into any spoilers, just the magic system of metallurgy, it's called.
Amazing. Amazing. That sounds awesome. That sounds amazing. Chalo. Metallurgy. Metallurgy it is.
It's too
good. Metallurgy it is.
Movie you yelled at right now, which you said that I needed to watch. You said something, right? Which Jury Duty. So
Jury Duty.
That with the excitement of Jury Duty, with the excitement of Jury Duty, I would give you the excitement of this one. Come on, let's go. Let's go.
I will do it. I will do it. I'm traveling in January to a place where books will accompany me, and I'm looking forward to it.
Where are you off to, my friend?
The books place. I'm off to the cold place, my friend. I'm off to the cold place. I'm off to the cold place, the cold and hilly place to enjoy.
Very good.
And to read books.
That's the best one.
Sit in cold and read books and drink chai and sit near fireplace and.
Man, you're living the life. You're living the life.
The idea is to spend a week or two in January doing that. I like budgeted some time for that. So. Because then after that, like from February onwards, I want to start like doing a bunch of shows and touring. Like I feel like the rest of the year is going to be very touring heavy for me if I can swing it. So. I would like to just chill a little bit in January.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about tours for, shows.
Sahil, you have a tour. You have a tour.
I have a tour, which I'll announce at the end. But yeah, 2024, please come watch Rohan and I. We are going to be live. 27th, we are in Hyderabad Comic Con, by the way.
Yes, Comic Con. We will be at Hyderabad Comic Con 100%.
27th Jan, we are in Hyderabad Comic Con. There's also Chennai Comic Con. We're going to be in Chennai Comic Con, and we are there in the final Bombay Comic Con, which is happening. So if anybody wants to watch watch us live and you want to meet us, come to the Comic Con. 27th is Hyderabad. So yeah, we'll see you there. Shall we wrap up? I think we've covered a fuckload of good
Yeah,
recap.
otherwise we could talk. Wait, have we missed anything specific? Let me just very quickly
You
consult
go through
my
the list.
list.
I'll go through my list. And
Yeah,
please let us know if we've missed anything.
Succession ended, Barry ended. I'm looking at the chat. Just very quick shout outy thing, not like a lot to discuss. Doesn't matter what your opinion on her is. What a fucking year for Taylor Swift, just in terms of like, it's very rare that you can look at an artist and just sort of like, in the sense, and again, like I said, the reason I'm saying outside of your opinion is just because we are a pop culture podcast, right? When you look at seismic events in pop culture, right?
Yeah.
Somebody in this day and age where we thought that like we are reaching like mass super fragmentation in music, that somebody can essentially be grinding out arena tours that are literally for the weekend, like reshaping the economies of places and just statistics, like doing absurd numbers in terms of, and then just reading about this thing, like just to have for one person to have that sort of command or this thing is just quite impressive, and it's just been fascinating to watch, like over the course of the year, to just see just all about it, right? Like just like in terms of and everything, right? Like imagine going to like a football game like that your boyfriend is playing at, and like everything like their metrics change because of you. Right? Imagine you suggest that you might be leaning one way politically and suddenly the other side is terrified of you. You're a musician. Imagine that you find that a theater chain is empty one weekend. You're like, what if we put my concert in your theater? And they have one of the biggest weekends of the fucking year. All right, just statistically, what a force. What a force. Like it's just wild to look at something like that and see and be like, you know what? Well done. Like just well done.
And having anyone and everyone just watching you do your art, and no matter what you say, like there could be haters and all, which obviously every artist will have, but saying legends respect you, you know, like I've seen videos and footage of people who are like, I'm like, you consider them as legends, and they're like at the Taylor Swift concert and they're like, man, what I have just witnessed, what I have just witnessed is just,
yeah.
So yeah, it's been a good year. It's been a fun year. I would like to thank everybody who has seen, who will be watching everything that we are watching, as well as the recommendations that we've given. But more importantly, I would recommend this podcast called Binge-O-Clock.
It's amazing.
We did 51 episodes, 51 episodes.
It's basically, it's the Taylor Swift of entertainment podcasts. Like everything we talk about, like, is a hit. It might be a hit before we talk about it, but who can say what cause and effect really is in this world?
I would suggest please watch some of the previous episodes. We've got a lot of fun stuff that we have discussed this year.
And if we sell tickets for a live show, please come and don't leave us alone with an audience that doesn't know what Binge-O-Clock is. Have you told them the story? Oh, they saw the live episode. They saw the live episode.
We did a live where 50 people showed up. And
it's something that we want to do more regularly. It's something that we really want to do more
regularly. We definitely want to do more live Binge-O-Clock because I think it's a lot more fun.
We had a great time.
So, yeah, please. Thank you, guys. Thank you, League, for watching the show. Thank you for your love and support. Thank you for everything. I hope you guys enjoyed everything. It has been such a good year, and we're going to continue next year is going to be wilder. So please come, please enjoy, please have fun with us. And more importantly, no matter where you are, whatever your plans are for New Year's, we hope you have a fantastic New Year and enjoy. And if all else fails, there is always Baldur's Gate 3 to welcome you.
Guys, you need to get on that shit. I'm telling you.
Go down.
You need to get on that shit. You know what? It's fine. You said it and now I have to go play it. Bye, Sahil.
Okay, done. Bye, guys. See you. Have a happy New Year. See you guys. Thank you so much. Bye.
Have a very happy, fun and safe New Year, friends.
Yeah, of course. Bye, guys. See you. Now I have to figure out how to see. That's the beauty of doing this live. Now
we're still live currently. In case I'm looking at your YouTube channel right now. I'm looking at you. You are pointing at the screen, and I have to manage.
I have to manage this thing now.
You have to figure out how to shut it. Yeah, we're still live. We're still live on YouTube.
See, this is the beauty. We've done this for 2 years, and yet my absolute lack of professionalism in coming to deal with this.
This is how they read the credits on Whose Line Is It Anyway? It's just standing there while one guy's figuring it out how to turn it off. And there.
And I have reached the button. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Thank you for super chatting. Thank you, Devesh. Love you all. Bye-bye. Happy New Year.
What a post-credit scene. Wow.
Bye. And